Hello everybody, Ben Woodrup here with another Falconry video. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about a way that we can manage aggression and a training technique that nobody does that's really good, that actually is very helpful, especially if you're new to falconry. If you haven't already though, if you could hit subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it very much. It does help me keep things going on this channel. And I just kind of want to make sure that falconry keeps going. And some of these kind of techniques like this video, I'm hoping will help new falconers and existing falconers to have a positive experience and perpetuate this sport all over the world. Now, when we're dealing with falconry, the technique I want to share today most applies to hawks and eagles. So both buzzards, buteos, like red-tailed hawks, and ferruginous hawks, that line, and accipiters, like goshawks, Cooper's hawks, sparrowhawks, things like that, as well as all eagles. This applies to all birds of prey, but those are the ones especially where you're going to run into this. But here's the principle. If you watch my channel, you're aware I always point out aggression. We don't want aggression in our birds. We don't want them to be aggressive towards us. We don't want them to lash out and attack us or something. It makes sense, right? And we're like, aggression is bad. Wrong. Aggression is not something to eliminate, nor can it truly be eliminated. It needs to be properly directed. Aggression is something that a predatory bird has wired in to direct towards prey. They're supposed to hunt. They're a bird of prey because they prey on other animals. And so they need to direct that aggression towards whatever they are hunting. And that's why at a certain age, as I've talked in other videos, they start to become aggressive towards their parents who are bringing food right at the time the parents start to ditch out and they have to range out on their own. And that aggression then is directed towards prey if it's done properly. Now, you as a falconer, you're going to get a bird from a range of circumstances. Maybe it's a baby, maybe it's captive bred, maybe you trapped it from the wild. Could be a lot of things. Maybe you're not even a falconer. Maybe you're a wildlife educator training a bird at a zoo or someplace with falconry techniques. And you can say, oh, it's not falconry. It doesn't matter. You're still using falconry techniques to manage and keep that bird healthy and happy and properly exercised. So when you're first building trust with a bird of prey, typically the first step is to get them to eat off of the glove. Eating off the glove is, social bonding. Remember that. I always say in all my videos, everybody wants to kill you and steal your food or kill you and make you food. The only other raptors that don't are your mate or your parent, and your parent only for a time. Then they ditch out on you, and if they see you again in the wild, you're competition once again. And so because of that, food is the language of social bonding when it comes to working with a raptor. It is not merely a treat or a reward. The act of you giving and offering food, the act of them calmly taking food, and the act of them bending their head down, making the back of their neck vulnerable to attack while they eat off your glove, that is social bonding. But from that step, typically people get their bird to fly to the fist, and then eventually they switch to a lure and have their bird fly to a lure. Or you might still be having them fly to the fist for various reasons. So I cannot find somewhere I have a video on my lure technique that I use. I can't find it on my channel, and so many of my videos seem to be getting so far down on the list, people aren't even aware of them. So I will probably make a video that's kind of part 2 to this that talks about the secret technique I use with lures. But I want to do the first intermediate step. Let's say you got a bird, you got a goshawk, you got a red-tailed hawk, you got a golden eagle, you got it flying to the fist. And it's flying beautifully. It comes without hesitation to your glove, and it's eating food there. And you might notice something. It might be kind of gripping kind of hard. That is because your glove is starting to represent a prey item that has been captured, and therefore there's some pressure that should be put there. Now, maybe they're not doing that much, but still, this technique I'm going to show you works really well. Because what will happen is the more that glove becomes important, then the more aggressive and defensive of it they might become. And there's nothing worse than you're holding a bird and it thinks it's caught a rabbit or something, but it's your glove, and it's trying to defend against you stealing the glove. It's like, dude, I'm attached to that. And then they could grab your face or something. With red-tailed hawks, it's very common that people miss this their first season, and then their second season, they start flying their bird. Bird flies the fist and grabs the person in the face. Not good. We don't want that. So here's a little tech. A lot of times I say, once they're coming to the glove and once they're coming to the lure, try to direct all that aggression towards the prey or towards the lure. But even with that, this technique is kind of a nice in-between. So let's say your bird is flying to the fist, flying to the glove, being a little sticky-footed where when it doesn't want to let go of the glove when you cast it back off again. Then what you start to do is you train it to fly to the glove, and you have meat that you're holding up. The bird lands on the glove, but you do not give them the meat, and you dangle it to the side, drop it on the ground, and let them see you drop it, and they leave your glove without hesitation. They are not sticky-footed. They let go with no grip. They go to the ground, and they eat it on the ground. And then once they have eaten it, there is nothing to be aggressive towards, and they're like, oh, okay. And you put down the ungarnished glove, there's no meat on it, and have them hop back up on it, and away you go. And doing that, you don't have to do that every time, but that is a good way. They still got their reward right away, but it redirected the aggression. They had to first come to your glove, but then they eagerly left your glove to go to the ground. And the ground is something you don't have to worry. The ground with no food on it, no prey on it, is not something they will be aggressive towards. That is a good way. You've just deflected a bullet. It just bounced off. That aggression was coming towards your glove, and you just doing, bounced it to the ground by adding a second step. This is a very, very simple principle. It's not very dramatic. We love the bird flying dramatically to your glove and landing. We love that imagery. It's wonderful. But you know what? When it comes to actual falconry, you got to be safe, and you got to keep that bird safe, and you got to keep that aggression pointed where you want it. And you want it to either fizzle out once they've eaten whatever that is on the ground, or you want to direct it towards prey. So try this technique. Or if you have an existing bird that you've flown for a while, and every time it lands on the fist, bam, it's just grabbing super hard, and it's being sticky-footed and won't take off afterwards because it thinks it's dragging prey with it. Try this technique of having it come for no food and drop the food on the ground. Whoop! And it will work like magic. It's a simple technique, but it can do wonders to recalibrate the thinking of the bird and to redirect the aggression in ways that are healthy and conducive to a good relationship with your bird. So I hope this little technique proves valuable. I hope you will share it so that other people can benefit from it as well, because it does wonders for me and my birds. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, happy hawking.